It's the start of stoppage time. Villa parked the bus the entire second half to pretty good effect. So why Villa are pushing up right here and leaving so much space between the lines, I don't understand. And this is the reason they conceded late. Well, PSG have shown us that there are levels to this, and Aston Villa are nowhere near them. It was an absolutely exceptional performance from Luis Enrique's side. They just ended up picking apart Unai Emery and his stubborn Aston Villa team. And look, Villa did the best they could to bunker in, but this PSG team just has way too many options. From their off-ball movement and positional rotations and their tactics, to the fact that they just have difference makers in attack. So let's take a look at how PSG manhandled Aston Villa. Welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. All right, so PSG, as I said, they are on another level. And look, Aston Villa did the best they could to sort of bunker in and try and hit them on the break, but PSG are just too intricate. And this is right away early in the match. You can just take a look at the shape here. You got Nuno Mendes as the left back pushing forward, Kvaratskhelia as the left winger. João Neves would add himself into the front line a lot. There's Desiré Doué as part of it as well. Ousmane Dembélé as the false nine, constantly checking into the midfield to get the ball. And then you can see Achraf Hakimi high on the right. So what you see here, the first person to check, Desiré Doué, comes into the space. There's not really an option for Beraldo, so he goes back. And as the ball comes into Vitinha, it's João Neves who goes ahead and checks in. He doesn't get the ball because it goes into Dembélé, who drops it off to Doué. And now that Beraldo has the ball back, this is important. Look at João Neves. He's going to realize, like, I need to get out of here. I need to drag Camara with me and get sort of in the 9 position. And when he does that, it leaves Dembélé open. John McGinn not quick enough to recognize it. Doué does well to shake 2 players, toe poke the ball into Dembélé, and a line is easily broken. But the other major thing from Luis Enrique is he wants his teams to press. And Ousmane Dembélé is a very good presser of the ball because he's fast. And here he is just cutting off the ball out to the left-hand side for Emi Martinez, getting there so quickly that Martinez just kind of has to get the ball off his feet. It's in a rush, and so it goes out of play. Here's another example. Dembélé initiating the press, running across, cutting the ball that goes back into the middle, so it's got to go wide. As soon as it does, Kvaratskhelia goes running after it. He's able to get a little block on the ball, and Nuno Mendes picks it up. And they forced so many turnovers that they were just able to recreate one attack after another, and they did it with fantastic movement. Here you're going to see a wonderful pattern. As the ball goes into Doué here, who checks back, he plays it to Vitinha. Now, João Neves is going to make a run in behind here, and it drags the 2 Aston Villa center backs just a little bit further back. Now, he gives up on his run immediately, which tells me that's not where the ball was supposed to go. The ball is supposed to go out to Hakimi, who now is able to be onside running behind the defender because the 2 center backs got dropped. The ball is fantastic from Vitinha, and PSG are in. They were also able to completely shift who goes where. Here, Doué, who started more on the right side, is over on the left. Fabian Ruiz and João Neves have pushed into the front line. Once again, Dembélé checking into the midfield and Hakimi on the right-hand side, which means where's Kvaratskhelia? Well, he's just operating in that right-sided 8 position. So when he gets the ball here, he's able to create a combination with Hakimi. Hakimi once again has that cleverness to drag Luka Digne with him and then take off running. And the ball from Kvaratskhelia is perfect. This was just way too easy for PSG to get behind the back line of Aston Villa. And Nuno Mendes was joining the party. You'll see a run that he makes here, which is the exact same one that he would do on the 3rd goal. But as Fabian Ruiz has the ball here, he's kind of probing, taking a look. He doesn't really have anywhere to go, but this is the run from Nuno Mendes. Right in between the right back and the center back, from a little bit deeper to make sure he stays on side, and he's able to get the ball. These chances were coming, and at this point, Unai Emery had to be very, very concerned. But he had a game plan, and it did yield them the game's first goal. Now, what's funny about this is it's once again Ousmane Dembélé running, pressing, and creating a turnover. So the clearance here gets deflected, and it ends up right at the feet of Nuno Mendes. He cuts away and actually takes good contact there, but does not know that John McGinn is coming. And Nuno Mendes turns into McGinn. McGinn gets the tackle, and this is crucial. Nuno Mendes is the left back, and so as Aston Villa are able to launch this counterattack, he is miles out of position. The ball goes to Rashford, he plays it down to Tielemans, Morgan Rogers wide open at the back post. Take a look at Nuno Mendes. Way out of the picture because he lost the ball. Morgan Rogers scores, and Villa take a lead. And they had to feel like, yep, we're doing this. The smash and grab is coming, but all they did was just wake PSG up, and this is when Doué would score. And I think this is a completely intentional set play. Look, the finish itself is exceptional, yes, but I think PSG did this completely on purpose. Take a look at Doué. He's right at the top of the 6-yard box, and there is no plan from PSG to actually play this into the middle. They go back to Hakimi. He immediately plays it over to Vitinha, and take a look at Doué, already just running out of the middle to get himself free. It goes to Nuno Mendes. He plays it out to Doué. One touch to control. The second one immediately out of his feet to cut inside. Takes another couple touches to get himself the space and hits it, and my goodness, what? It's an incredible goal. This kid is fantastic. So that takes us into halftime, and Unai Emery had to be like, look, 1-1, we're in pretty good shape. We played with a 5-4-1, and that kind of got away with it, but now we're going to drop even deeper because they are all over us. So they basically went with a 6-4 in the second half. It just made for a really interesting tactical setup. You can see here as Vitinha's going forward, like he's looking for options, and there is just nothing. Villa have completely squeezed the space between their midfield and defensive line. They've blurred it so much that it just looks like 10 guys constantly behind the ball. Now, here's the thing. When Aston Villa were in this shape, in this 6-4, most of the half just disappeared like this. You would have PSG with the ball for 2 or 3 minutes at the time, but not able to really do much. I mean, Vitinha was having to walk forward, no idea where to play the ball as players are sort of changing and chopping positions and checking in and out. But this was really, really difficult for PSG. They couldn't make breakthroughs when Villa were playing like this. And actually, this is the weirdest moment. I mean, look at this. Morgan Rogers just getting right up next to Desiree Doué. Look how close he is. I mean, he could easily just make a play, and he just stands up and kind of stares at him. What is this? This was definitely the most eerie, bizarre moment of the match. I thought I was watching like two cats standing off before they fight, but that really was what Villa were doing. They were hoping that PSG would get a little impatient, turn the ball over, and allow them to counter it. And it made it really, really difficult until Kvaratskhelia would get the breakthrough goal. And this is one hell of a finish, but it actually comes from a counterattack on an Aston Villa surge forward. So as Aston Villa drive forward here, they get themselves in a little bit of a cul-de-sac. There's 4 PSG players there. Hakimi wins the first one, gets in a little tackle. João Neves is there to back him up, and now the ball goes into Dembele, plays a little flick. Hakimi comes forward, chips the ball, and Ruiz has to actually turn back to make sure he gets this ball out to Kvaratskhelia. And Kvaratskhelia just goes, fakes it, rolls it back under him. Disasi completely ripped apart, and the finish, I mean, off the post into the roof of the net. Now, the danger for PSG after they took this lead is that Villa actually did not change the plan. They just dropped in and basically waited for PSG to get a little impatient, lose a ball, and then they could hit them on the break. And it actually was not terrible. Fabian Ruiz trying to force a ball into Nuno Mendes there, and Villa are able to take it and counterattack. It's also down to the PSG players and their energy. Desiree Doué runs all the way back here, gets the challenge in on Rashford, PSG win it, and look at Doué immediately making that run in behind. Hakimi chips the ball over. Look at this touch from Doué. Just brings it down. He plays it out to Dembele, and look at this ball. This is a fantastic pass. It's right on the ground, and Kvaratskelia's shot here was on target. It was going sort of in that bottom corner, but Kvaratskhelia, I mean, he was coming alive, and he had his moment here. I mean, Villa, once again, it's like when you attack, you've got to have higher quality because this PSG team on the break are killer, and this is just a terrible ball up. Nuno Mendes wins the header. Kvaratskhelia brings it down. John McGinn goes in like a bulldog to try and steal it from him, and whoop, right through the legs. See you later. Kvaratskhelia immediately plays the ball forward, and Doué is off to the races. So you can see here, this is not the situation Villa want. 2-on-3, 4-on-3, 4-on-4. No, they wanted to be deeper and making sure they didn't allow this to happen. And these breaks from PSG were so dangerous. And that is actually what led to PSG getting that all-important third goal, because Villa losing 2-1 on the road is not bad as a result to go back to Villa Park with. But 3-1 kind of looks insurmountable, and this all starts Villa in stoppage time, launch a ball forward, Ollie Watkins wins it, Ian Maatsen gets the ball in the corner, he's able to play Watkins, who finds Morgan Rogers, and he shoots over. Now, okay, whoop-de-doo. There's 90th minute, 3 minutes of stoppage time. Villa parked the bus the entire second half to pretty good effect. So why Villa are pushing up right here and leaving so much space between the lines, I don't understand. And this is the reason they conceded late. Vitinha steps over the halfway line. He and João Neves decide to play a little pepper pass right here. Yeah, back and forth. Villa, they've got their 5-4-1. I don't know why Watkins needs to be this high. I think he should drop into the midfield and shrink the lines between the midfield and the defense. Take a look at Dembele. The position he has right here is the position he is going to assist the goal with. And look at Nuno Mendes, right between two defenders on the right-hand side. So as João Neves looks up, he's got Kvaratskhelia coming inside. And look at this space that Villa are leaving between their back line and their midfield. It's way too big, and finally, PSG are able to find Dembele. He turns, looks up, and it's the most simple of passes. Villa's back line is so flat that if you can just time your run and the ball and get it perfect just like that, you're in. And Nuno Mendes just totally sells Martinez here, chops the ball inside, finishes with his right foot, and PSG win 3-1. And that goal is absolutely massive. A 1-goal difference, and anything can really happen. But I do not see Villa coming back because, well, PSG showed that there are levels here, and they are many, many above Aston Villa. So hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Take it easy.